Hey everyone, kalimsiYT here, and welcome back to another speed build. And today I am building on the lot called Magnolia Blossom, which is the 50 by 50 park lot that is available in Willow Creek. And today I'm just going in and I'm renovating it and building a new one for my save file. And this is something that I have been wanting to do for a while, just because the base game park that came with the game on launch in Willow Creek is it's just boring. I don't know. I don't really like it a whole lot. And since then, I feel like we have a lot more outdoor activities to do. We have the terrain tools and the ponds now in the game that weren't there before. And I wanted to kind of just do something to modernize it a little bit. And so this is my interpretation of that. So as we go along in this build, you're going to see that I kind of break up this park into almost like little sections, if you will. So in the middle there is the pond with the bridge, and then you can see there's also another area that I kind of attach on the pond, and I wanted to kind of use that as almost a dock in a sense. Now in the game you can't really use it as like a functioning dock in that like there are boats and you can use the boats to go around the pond, but I didn't, you can't like tie them there, if that makes sense. And so the dock is mostly decorative, but I think it adds a nice touch. With the new pack coming out, well, at the time of me recording this voiceover, the Adventure Awaits expansion pack is set to come out pretty soon, and I know there are kayaks in that expansion pack, and I think that would be a great thing to add in here if you do download the slot and have that pack in the game at some point, is to use that dock and, you know, load up your kayaks, and then your Sims can go kayaking in the pond in this park. But anyways, there's that dock there, and then in I believe it's the far left corner of the lot, if you're looking at it straight on, that's going to be where the gazebo is. Now you can see I kind of started building a little bit of it, but it looks like really weird right now. And originally I was wanting to make it like curved all the way around, but then I didn't end up doing that, and I just decided to make it octagonal like a traditional one. And I don't know, I had a really hard time putting it together for some reason, even though like it's a pretty easy shape to get. I think the main reason why is because when I was building the first half of this park, I was actually talking on the phone with my friend, and she was telling me stuff, and I had like taken a step back from building, and I was talking to her, and then I was like trying to build and talk to her at the same time, and I didn't get a whole lot done during that. And so I had to, you know, take a break, turn off the Sims, and then come back to it afterwards. And usually whenever I roughly where I want everything to be and what trees kind of are going to go where, because I feel like it's a pretty important part of the park. And I'm using a lot of trees and landscaping from the debug menu, and I usually will do this with a lot of my builds, but I wanted to use a lot from the debug menu in the park, especially because I didn't want too many areas to look like they're super manicured and landscaped. Right now in the video I'm working on like kind of like an entrance, you know, flower bed area, and that one, I wanted that one to look pretty, but for the rest of the ones, especially the ones by the fence, you know, the little landscaping areas, I really wanted to make sure that they didn't look too manicured, in the sense that I'm sure people will go in and like take care of the park, but I didn't want it to be so much so that it looks very unnatural in a sense. I originally, when I was drafting out like kind of what I wanted every lot to be in my save file, I wanted this to be like a botanical garden type of thing, and there'd be like a big building, you know, full of tropical plants and all of that, and different walkways and mazes, and so it'd be very manicured. And I still plan to do that, but I think I'm going to do that in San Myshuno, and that came with the City Living pack. They have, I think it's called Myshuno Meadows is a lot, and it's a 64 by 64 in the world, and I think that's a much better, it gives me a much more space to work with, because I didn't really feel like I had enough to do it justice here on this lot, because I bulldozed a lot. This is like my second attempt at building the park that you're seeing. My first attempt, I did try the whole botanical garden thing, and it didn't really work out for this. So at some point, I'm going to do that in a different world. But for this part of my save file, this is just a normal, everyday park. And one of the biggest parts of this lot, I would say, is doing the terrain painting. I spent so much time terrain painting in this build, really just using terrain tools in general, because I also made the pond, but I feel like it makes the biggest difference. I specifically used some of the ones from base game, and just because I think it matches the rest of the world in Willow Creek pretty well, but thankfully I don't really have an issue with the terrain paints. I know there's like a known glitch in the game where terrain paints will just magically disappear, and thankfully that didn't happen to me, and I don't know what I would have done if it did. Probably cry, just because I think I spent maybe an hour of my real life time just terrain painting. And you can see I put that lighter color in, that's kind of like the main trail area, but then I also use dirt to kind of frame it in a sense, and I just feel like it looks a little better. But as a result, it takes a lot of time, and so it's not something that you really want to just magically disappear. I mean, granted, I don't really want anything I place in the game to just magically delete, but like especially not that, and especially not on this lot. So yeah, I'm really grateful that didn't happen. And moving on to the next part that I'm working on here, you can see that I'm kind of putting together a little grill and picnic table area. I was originally going to try and put in a pavilion, like in a, you know, if you go to a park, maybe this is like an American thing, but you go to a park and there will be picnic tables and a grill, and it'll be under like a little covered area, so like in case weather's bad, you know, your event isn't ruined. So I wanted to put one of those in there because I thought it would look really cool, but given the fact that this section is kind of on a diagonal, and also the fact that it just doesn't really match with what's going on here, I didn't end up doing that. I still think it would have been cool, but it just didn't really work for what I was going for, and so I just have a few picnic tables and a grill, and I feel like this would be a pretty good place to host like an event, maybe like a birthday party or some sort of celebration in the game. I feel like that's pretty common in real life, you know, to have like a picnic or like a get together and host it at a park, but I never think to actually do that in my game. And my biggest goal with the lots I make is to make sure that they're usable in a lot of different gameplay scenarios, so that you're able to go and kind of do whatever you want at this lot, and it's fine. And so I feel like this would be a pretty good place to host, you know, a social gathering or a picnic or like a family reunion in your game or something like that. And so that's why I put those picnic tables and the grill there, just so you can have a small event space if you want to do that. And if you ever need more, you can just go in the build mode and do whatever you please. And now you can see that I'm working on kind of the details of the pond. I originally was thinking of having the pond water be like a little gross, like not really gross, but there'd be like algae and leaves, but I didn't really like any of like the pond coloring tools or like the pond water options that we had, and so I just went with this one that came from the Get Together expansion pack. It's just blue, but instead I wanted to really make sure that the pond had a lot of rocks and landscaping and algae and all that stuff to make it look realistic and not like I just, you know, put a hole in the ground and filled it with water, because I wanted to seem like this pond has been here for a long time. And you're not going to see me actually do it in the build. I did this after I stopped recording, but I went and I put in the little animations so you can see like the dragonflies or the tadpoles or the fish, ducks, all that. So they'll be in the game whenever you go in. And if you download the slot, or if you download my save file eventually when it comes out, those will populate whenever you press play and go and send your sim here. But for build mode, they just kind of look ugly because they're just like a blue square that you place, and then live mode, that's when they come to life. So because of that, I just decided to add that last. But I think they really make a world of a difference and make the lot just feel a lot more alive. One thing I do kind of want to note about this lot is that on the lot itself, there is no bathroom area. And you can see right now, I have pulled out one of those like outdoor bathrooms that your Sims can just go in and use. And I was originally going to put one of those on this lot, but then whenever you turn the camera kind of back so you're facing the front of the lot, there's like one right there, just very like across from the park. And so because of that, I was like, oh, there really is no need to have a bathroom on the lot, although there is one of those like pea bushes that your Sims can use if they get desperate enough. So that option is there. But there's also one of those like outdoor bathroom outhouse things that is right by the Magnolia Blossom lot in Willow Creek. So I just decided to go without having an actual bathroom on the lot because of that. And one thing that is in the lot requirements for this build is a sink and maybe a toilet, but since I didn't have a bathroom on there, I couldn't really fulfill those requirements, and so I just went and I sized them down and I put them in the rocks in the pond. So there technically is one on the lot, but your Sims aren't using them. So that's one way. That's what I usually like to do to get around lot requirements, because I feel like sometimes they're just kind of annoying and I don't really like having to deal with them. Like for example, I think in a bar lot type, you need to have a TV there. And that completely makes sense in real life to me because, most like sports bars, like, you go to like watch the game or there's something on and people will have it on in the background, but they'll be socializing with each other mostly. However, in this game, whenever a Sim sees an electronic, they're like a zombie and they have to flock to it for whatever reason. And it really annoys me. And because of that, I usually like to bypass having TVs or computers on my lot if I can help it. And so in instances like that, I'll just like size down a TV and like put it in a basement that your Sim can't get to or something along those lines. Same thing with computers. If you ever invite your Sim over to your house and you have a computer on the lot, it's game over. Like, that's all the Sim is going to be doing. And so a lot of times too, especially if I make a small business or just making a house in general, is just locking the door the computer is behind or locking the computer itself so only a certain Sim can use it. And I feel like that makes a big difference. But I always get a little bit nervous placing just a rogue computer or a rogue TV just in the lot because, in real life, that wouldn't be a big deal, wouldn't be an issue at all. But in this game, I feel like it really messes with the gameplay. And so that's why I kind of do that. But that's just one of the instances of times when I kind of bypass the lot requirements in a sense. And I feel like as the game has gotten older, the different lot requirements for certain lot types have gone down. Like I feel like in kind of the recent lot types that have been added to the game, there aren't as many requirements as there are in the base game ones. And so that's been kind of nice because you can, in my opinion, I really like being able to customize a lot to be however I want it to be. And so yeah, but for the base game ones, it's fine. I just size down the object and put it in an unreachable spot for your Sims. Now, moving on to what I'm actually doing in the build right now, you can see that I just finished our little community garden area on the lot, and I feel like it turned out pretty cute. My favorite part about it are like those little fences surrounding it, and those are from the live edit menu, and I feel like they look really cute. It was quite a lot of work to place them down because I had to size them down a few times and then move them in one by one, but I feel like it was worth it and that it turned out pretty well. So in the game, if you want, you can always have your Sims come into this lot and plant things. Now, I haven't tested this out long term in that I haven't had my Sim plant something in like a communal lot and then I'll go back in like 3 or 4 days and see what happens with it. I'm assuming that the plant will grow as time goes on, but I don't know for sure. I would assume so because there are lots in the game and just like plants that are like off lots but still in the world where they can grow. Like you can plant it and they will grow at some point. So I would think that would work. But yeah, there is a community garden there if you do decide to do that. And I also am placing the wishing well on this lot as well because I feel like it's a really forgotten about feature in The Sims. Like no one ever uses the wishing well, or I never hear anyone talk about the wishing well. And I saw that in like the outdoor activities and skills, and I thought that would just be a pretty fun addition. You don't have to make it so that it's like magical or whatever, but if you want to, you can, and that's pretty cool. So I put that there in case your Sims want to use it, but at the very least, it's just a cool decoration piece. So a big part of this speed build for a park is to put a lot of trees on the lot, and I actually noticed something really cool about the game that I didn't realize was a feature or that the Sims team would even like think to do this, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I wanted to share it with you guys, but maybe everyone else already knew this. However, I was looking at the trees when I was building, and I was placing a bunch of different types down on the lot, and what I didn't realize is that they actually have the shape of the leaves on the tree accurate on the trees in The Sims to the tree leaf shape in real life, and I thought that was pretty cool. So like for example, I'll put a picture of like a maple leaf and then like a maple leaf on a maple tree in The Sims, and I'll do the same thing with an oak, and they actually kind of mimic it in a sense, and I had no idea. I just kind of thought that the Sims team would have just put like a random normal leaf shape on there, but they actually kind of paid attention to the tree and making sure that the leaf shape was accurate to the one in real life. And I don't know, this is just a very small thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't know that was a feature in the game, and so I just wanted to share that with you guys to see if you guys knew about it. If you did, let me know. Maybe I just didn't think about that, but I just thought that was a cool little detail that they add. I feel like, it's just like little things like that that make the game seem a lot cooler, a lot more realistic. And yeah, back to the pond here, you can see that I'm placing a lot of rocks in here as well. I feel like when making a pond look natural in this game, the edges are kind of what gives it away to make it look like it's not natural, and I wanted this to be like this pond was here and the park was just built around it. And so I took a lot of rocks from the live edit menu. Why did I forget the name of that? Anyways, I took a lot of rocks from the live edit menu and I used a tool mod to size them down and move them into place, and I feel like it really makes a difference here. And one area of the pond that I think is really cool is the area with the painting easels there that your Sims can use. I'm sure if you have a Sim with a good painting skill, they can probably have them paint like a really cool paint by reference of the park itself and of the pond, and I think that would be pretty nice. And then I also put the picnic areas by the pond as well. I feel like that would just be a pretty fun place for your Sims to go and hang out. So one area of this build that I wanted to talk about that I kind of talked over while I was building it is the playground area, and that's in like the back right corner of the lot. And for that, I just used some base game monkey bars, some swings, one of those big playground things, and then a tree house. And I wanted to bring that up because in the new expansion pack that's coming out, Adventure Awaits, they did a base game update and everyone got the playground lot type. And unfortunately, you need like 6 pieces of playground equipment in order to have a playground be functional in the base game, which like If you have the expansion pack, I think that's more than doable. That's like super easy. But I think for the base game, that's a little bit hard, given that we don't really have a lot of playground equipment. Like, we have a monkey bars, and then we have like the pirate ship play set, and then the rocket ship, and then that's it. So I wouldn't want to build a park that has 2 of each or like 4 monkey bars in it, because that just looks weird. And so because of that, this won't be functional as a playground as of yet. Now, if you get the expansion pack and you want to, put a real playground in here, I'm sure that would look really nice as well. But as of this, it just functions like a normal park. Now, what I think would be really cool is if they added like a slide to the base game, or they made one of the swings base game. I feel like those swings, or just swings in general, have come in a lot of packs by now that it's not really like a pack exclusive item, and they should just add a base game version at this point. So I think some swings would be nice, maybe a slide of sorts, maybe a second set of monkey bars. I feel like that would really make the 6 pieces of playground equipment doable. But currently, I don't know if I'll be building many playgrounds in my game while I don't have this pack in my game, and I'm not planning on getting it until like at least it goes on 50% sale, if that. I don't know. I'll see how it actually works in gameplay, because I feel like there's a big difference between how packs work in the trailer and how people are advertising it in the early release content versus how it is functions in people's games and with other packs kind of mixed in there as well. So who knows, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't, I don't know yet. But regardless, I feel like there should be more playground equipment in the base game. And to kind of remedy that for this lot, I went ahead and I put the completed treehouse from Growing Together in there as well. So that's just an extra little bit for your kid Sims to play on, and that has a slide and a pole and all the stuff that your Sims can do on that as well. So I feel like that really adds a lot to the playground area, and I'm hoping that makes it, fun for your Sims to play on. Oh, and I also added the hopscotch thing that came with the For Rent expansion pack, because I don't know, hopscotch is cool, and I feel like some kid Sims would want to play with that. Now that this park is done in my save file, I'm really happy to have a place for my Sims to go that's a park lot type that I built myself, because I feel like there's a lot of times in my gameplay where I do end up at the park, especially whenever doing those different login event rewards, or like those bonuses where you get the free items. I feel like they end up taking you to a park at some point or another in order to complete those quests. And so it's really nice to just have a park now that's mine, that I built, that I can have my Sims go to. I really don't know why I did it earlier. I feel like building parks is kind of an intimidating thing for me for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm really happy to have this done now, and it's just another lot I can cross off the list for my save file. And I think I'm going to end this voiceover here. So if you did enjoy it and you want to download this lot, you can go ahead and download it off the gallery. And my EA account ID is kalimsiYT. And if you enjoyed this video, give a like, maybe comment what you'd like to see next, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.